The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
So about 10 minutes away, Clash with Kenzie. Cara Caribou in for Kenzie right now. So trivia coming up for those tickets in 10 minutes.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Your Chicago Bulls are dancing with a 500 record. How about that? Taking out the Portland Trailblazers. They're not very good, but who cares? It's 110-107. So you got no Kobe White, no Zach LaVine, no Lonzo Ball, and no Patrick Williams. But Vooch showed up. Vooch did okay in this final seconds here to take him to victory.
DeMar steps into Vucevic. Fakes, shoots, scores!
Oh, they cut it off. Let it go a little more, guys.
It sounded like it was going to be electric.
Yeah, Adam Adams was sitting there going for it there. Come on. Let it go. Yeah!
Wait, what does he want to do?
Yeah! Then they closed out. Trailblazers had a shot at the end, but they missed it. Debo dropped 28, and like I said, Vooch was pretty clutch. I always think Vooch is kind of soft, but he averages like a double-double.
Yeah, but it's like empty calories.
That's exactly what it feels like. It just feels like,
I'm still very upset at the trade they made for him now 3 years ago because I feel like the Magic fleeced us. But nevertheless, like you said, no Kobe White, no Zach LaVine, no Lonzo Ball, no Patrick Williams. Alex Caruso went down in the first quarter. He would return, but he had a horrible game last night. They might be doing this without Caruso now for a little bit too.
Jeez. I mean, Debo got 28 like he always does. Those 8-foot jumpers. And then
built different.
Yeah, but Ayo coming off a career high, our local guy doing well, dropped 23 as well.
That's right.
So 13 games up in the season. Bulls at the Rockets next. In the playoffs right now, the play-in situation. We'll see how it plays out.
Cara, what do you think about that Bulls-Rockets game? Who you got there?
I'm going to say the Bulls.
Ah, good.
Oh,
me too.
Why don't you break it down for the next 10 minutes? What do you got?
All I care about is Bernardo, their masseuse, because I need him back. So I feel bad that I'm not always rooting for them.
So when they lose, he's available. This is the Bulls masseuse, and he's your masseuse.
Right.
So when they lose, he's available.
Pretty much. Well, as long as he's not traveling, yes.
But they got 5 players hurt. Isn't he massaging them?
He probably is, yeah.
Let's see, Cara, I want you to get in here. I got to massage Lonzo for 2.5 years in a row. But I can work you in because it's not working. I'm sure he's a great masseuse, but it's Lonzo still faking an injury. So he allegedly, that's my take, so he can sit and collect the $74 million.
Well, he's back to running apparently, so we're on the right track with him.
I'm surprised Costco wasn't selling any Lonzo Ball jerseys.
I can't wait for him to come back because we'll be able to do a whole segment on how the world has changed since the last time Lonzo Ball played a basketball game.
There wasn't running water.
We were on the Oregon Trail last time we played a game.
So the White Sox making history on opening day? How about this? Now, I said they haven't done it since 1901. Could it really be something positive if they did it in 1901? They're going to do it in 2024?
No.
So they're starting Garrett Crochet will be the opening day starter. They haven't started someone to make his first career start on an opening day since Roy Patterson. Oh, what a great run that guy had, Roy Patterson.
Tell me about him, Brian.
Well, when we would we'd go down there and let's see here. When I would go down to see Roy, he'd show up there, with his horseshoes, because that's what he did as a day job on the anvil. He'd hammer out the horseshoes.
Uh-huh.
And he'd put those aside and go, now it's time for baseball. And that's what Roy did there in 1901. I can't remember his whole career arc. I think he played for a couple. Are you looking him up?
1901 to 1907.
Okay.
Roy Patterson was on your Chicago White Sox, member of the 1906 World Series championship team. 1901, started 35 games, pitched in 41, went 20-15 overall, so above 500.
Now, can you go to Spotrac and tell me what his career earnings were?
I think he earned $25.
Yeah, probably. That's why he had to make horseshoes. So this is not a good sign for the White Sox because they just traded Dylan Cease. They have no one to pitch. Then they're putting up a guy who hasn't pitched at all. That's not a great opening day vibe.
No, and I'm going to Sox opening day next week. They open up the season on Thursday.
Holy crap, it's next week.
I know.
Wow.
Woo!
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited because for as many Sox games as I've been to, I've never been to opening day. I wanted to go this year. They trade Dylan Cease. They announced Michael Kopech is going back to the bullpen. And I start looking around going, well, we traded Lance Lynn. We traded Lucas Giolito. who are our pitchers? And we landed on Garrett Crochet, who was supposed to be a closer a few years ago, who they've now determined instead of pitching one inning, he will now pitch multiple innings once every 5 days.
I wonder if Garrett Crochet is going to start game 2 as well. Let's keep him going there. So a reminder that Brian and Kenzie will have the Cubs home opener broadcast. That'll be Monday, April 1st, 1:20 from the bar Almost Home. We're going to have concert tickets. A lot of fun going out there. Kenzie coming back from maternity leave that day.
Nice.
But Cara, you're more than welcome to come out as well.
I just may.
Yeah.
I had fun at your last one.
Well, we haven't had, yeah, Cara had a lot of fun.
Maybe too much fun.
Yeah. But we haven't had a chance, since before the pandemic, really, to do a Cubs home opener broadcast. So they're back.
So much fun.
So much fun. We're looking forward to it.
And where's that at?
That's going to be at Almost Home. Almost Home. Make sure you go come check us out.
It's a fun place.
So it'll be a week from Monday. Good bar.
Yeah.
Just north of the Metro on Clark Street, right in the shadow of the friendly confines. Finally, RG3, Robert Griffin. You may remember him as his quarterback career. Played for the Skins first. Really had a rough go there. And he was supposed to be the kind of the future of football. Got injured several times, got out. Now he's a pretty good commentator at times, pretty bad at times like this one. He had this take that Caleb Williams, now that we've decided Justin Fields has been traded, Caleb Williams is obviously going to be the number 1 overall pick going to the Bears. And here's what he said about that situation of Caleb Williams and what he should do being drafted by the Chicago Bears.
Caleb Williams should pull a Eli Manning and demand that the Chicago Bears do not draft him number 1 overall. After everything that's happened with Justin Fields, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? This is the organization that has my best interest at heart, and they're going to help develop me into the player that I want to become. Caleb Williams is on record saying that he wants to be legendary. He wants to rewrite history, and he wants to be the best that he can possibly be and win the most games he can possibly win. After the Bears took Justin Fields, the 11th pick in the draft, and turned him into a 6th round pick in the 2025 draft by trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, this organization is going to help get me where I want to go.
Now listen, he goes on for 2 minutes here with the worst take ever. Now, I'm not arguing his point that the Bears certainly have had a rough go with quarterbacks. Of course, because they've had 10 in 3 seasons or 4 seasons we're at now.
I think 6 is where we're at. 10 and 6, which is not good.
Not good.
Yeah, the Patriots had 1 quarterback for 20 years.
Yeah, I understand. And we also passed up on Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
People say, well, he wouldn't have been Patrick Mahomes if he came here. Probably not a bad fact either.
Would have been cool, though.
It would have been nice because he didn't have Andy Reid, the quarterback whisperer. But Caleb Williams is walking into a really great situation, possibly the greatest situation of a rookie quarterback has ever walked into in the history of football. Why do I say that with a team that were 7-10? Because they've changed in the offseason. They have an incredible offensive setup right now. The offensive line, a little better. The defensive line was really good, actually, the last several games when Matt Eberflus, the head coach, took over the defense. They just made more moves to bring in 2 all-pro wide receivers. He's going to have at least 1 was last year, 1 this year. 2 big-time tight ends. Keenan Allen? Yeah! He is walking into a great situation. A number 1 always goes to a crappy team. And he's talking about Eli Manning. He did that back not wanting to go to the Chargers, sat out, eventually got to the Giants, wins 2 Super Bowls, becomes a Hall of Famer. But that's a completely different situation than what's going on here with the Bears. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl next year. I'm not even saying I think Caleb Williams is going to be good, because I saw him suck against Notre Dame. But RG3 has the dumbest, most moronic take I've ever heard, including some of mine.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Here's traffic.
Traffic is brought to you by Amazon Fresh, and it's really gotten bad in the last 20 minutes or so. It's going to be an hour and 35 minutes from O'Hare to downtown on the Kennedy. Outbound is actually pretty decent. Also an hour and a half on the Ike from 390 to downtown. You're looking at an hour and 20. On the Stevenson from Veterans Tollway to Lakeshore Drive. And then south side, you do have an accident. Actually, it's closed. The Dan Ryan heading east. Right at exit 62, that's 95th Street, and the Bishop Ford split. It's right there at the split, which is the worst. And there's a 10-minute delay right now, but it is closed. They're routing you off. It's going to get really bad. So we'll keep you posted on that. Once you get through it from the Bishop Ford in, it's probably about a half hour. And that's your traffic. Also going back out to Romeoville, the I-55 North before Weber Road, a half-hour delay. So that's heading inbound at Weber Road. It's a mess. 714, 30 degrees.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
Well, here we go for Vampire Weekend tickets. Huntington Bank Pavilion at Northerly Island, Friday, July 26th. They're on sale now. Live Nation helps get these free ones to you with Brian and Kenzie, and that'll be a wonderful night. July 26th, right on the lake. Forget about it. So, Dan checking in from Evanston, will be competing against Cara. Tell us something about yourself, Dan.
I'm Dan, and I have a mustache.
You and Case Bond in I noticed it took him a long time to put you on hold getting ready for the thing because Case has a mustache. You there, Dan?
I'm there. Yeah, Case's mustache too.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of my thing. Kind of what I'm known for is having a mustache and nothing else.
Maybe you guys should hang out.
Dan, let's hang
That's
out.
rad.
What, you got a handlebar? You got a Raleigh fingers? What style of mustache do you have?
It's like a Tom Selleck.
Ah,
There
good
you-
man.
It's amazing that I was mentioning Magnum PI after the show to our boss
That's
just
right.
24 hours ago. Not even. To get a Tom Selleck reference twice in 24 hours, that is truly a unique day.
That's why we live.
Yeah,
That's why we do what we do.
You won't get that anywhere else in Chicago radio.
No, you will not. Not a Tom Selleck reference in 2024.
All right, here we go. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Cara gets one wrong, filling in for Kenzie here, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Dan, right now.
Tails.
It is heads.
Ooh.
And Cara goes first. Cara, what are the two prominent colors on the Canadian flag?
Well, I'm half Canadian. I better get this right. Red and white.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've known you for a long time. I didn't know you were
Yeah.
half Canadian.
My mom was born in Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that count? Like, you can be half
Yeah.
Italian, or Harper is half Irish because Megan's Irish,
Well, the fact is, she lived in Detroit. Her mom just had a doctor she liked there, so they drove to Toronto, had the baby, and came back.
So she's a Detroit native.
Yeah,
She's half Jewish and half Detroitian.
Yes. Detroitian?
All right, that's better. I got to the bottom of that quick.
Snuff that out.
I'm not buying that your daughter's half Canadian. She's got cheaper health care over there, so she
Yeah.
went over there.
Yep.
Yeah, good for her.
Let's see. Back to Dan.
That's right.
Dan, Chip and Joanna Gaines have a lifestyle brand partnership with what retailer?
Target.
Target is right. Do you even know who they are? You just guessed Target because it's a pretty good retailer.
I knew that one.
Okay, yeah, that's a good show. I get sucked into that show.
Yeah.
Let's see. Back to Cara. What letter represents potassium in chemistry and a strikeout in baseball?
Two things I know nothing about, science and sports. I'm going to say P.
It's not P. It's not P. What do you say, Dan?
That is K.
That's K.
Oh.
Good job, Dan.
How does K get a strikeout and potassium?
Well, I don't have time to get into it.
You definitely know. You just don't have time to get into
All
it.
right. I believe you.
Let's see here. Back to Cara.
Dan, no, back to Dan. It's 2-1. Dan's ahead.
Dan, in which state was the television show Roseanne set?
Georgia?
Georgia's not right. Cara.
Actually, it was Illinois,
It
but
was.
the real house is in Evansville, Indiana, where they shot the exteriors, and that's for sale.
Yeah, and that's really wild. So what's the price? Because Kara's a realtor. She
I
can
guess
look
I
that
should have
stuff
looked
up.
that up. I just knew it was for sale.
I'm guessing in Evansville, Indiana, I'm saying probably $175 for that house, even though
Yeah.
home prices have gotten out of control.
Even if it's not, I'll negotiate that for you.
Sure, that's good.
You should move into the Roseanne house. That'd be good for you.
Yeah.
What's that commute from Evansville?
Ooh, not pleasant.
All right, 2-2.
And back to Cara.
Cara, who was the pretty woman in the 1990 film?
Oh, that was Julia Roberts.
Yeah, it was. Good
Almost
job.
said Childs.
Dan, what temperature in Celsius does water freeze at?
0.
Zero's right. Those damn Canadians with their metric system. Celsius is in the metric system, right
Yes,
or no?
yes, yes.
Phew, that was close. All right.
3-3. Back to Cara.
Cara, who wrote the classic horror book, It?
Stephen King?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Shining is his best work, though.
Yes.
I mean, that's a good movie. We're not going to get into that either right
No, we're not.
now. Is it Dan?
It is 4-3. Back to Dan.
Dan, where did the attack on Pearl Harbor take place?
Hawaii.
Hawaii's right. 4-4. Next one wins.
High ball game. Back to Cara.
Oh, boy.
Cara, Danny, Joey, Jesse, DJ, Stephanie, and Michelle are characters on what 90s TV show?
Oh, that's Full House.
Oh, damn. So you don't know K, but you know Full House.
I know the important things.
Wow. Dan, are you a big Vampire Weekend fan?
I am.
Well,
yeah.
and he's got a nice mustache. Can he please have the tickets?
I'm
I'm a fan of mustaches.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I heard about
I
Cara.
just told Case that the other day.
I want you in case go in the broom closet while I give Dan his tickets. You got him anyway, man. Good job. Thanks for
Yay.
calling in.
All right. Thanks, guys. I get back to my honeymoon that week, so it's going to be a good end to the week.
Oh. Where are you going on the honeymoon?
We're going to Portugal.
Portugal?
Yes. Yeah.
This guy's living, you know what, like...
What are you mad about?
I shouldn't be mad.
You're flustered. What happened?
You know what? Congratulations. That's
He's
a
just
great...
going to be in the hotel room the whole time anyway. Who cares where he goes?
Clash with Kenzie. The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
I'm proud. That's really nice. You're going to Portugal. That's great. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Coming up, Oprah was on TV last night. A big special a lot of people are talking about, and we'll tell you what she talked about. I found it kind of awkward.
Yeah.
In a situation talking about weight loss and helping people, which sounds like a great idea because all of us need help. But we'll talk about it after Bob Moses. Maybe you watched it.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Not that long ago on the show, we decided that Oprah would be in the Mount Rushmore of Chicago icons. Mm-hmm. We had, let's see, who did we have in their case? We had Michael Jordan.
We had Michael Jordan. We had Oprah.
Oprah.
We had Tom Skilling.
Tom Skilling, because he was retiring.
And Billy Corgan.
And Billy Corgan. And that was our Mount Rushmore.
If only there was a mountain somewhere here we could carve those in.
Oh, God, I'd love to. I'd
Yeah.
love to grab my pickaxe and do that.
Yeah.
We can go down, what's the park about an hour from here south? The
place you walked.
Stone something? I'm trying.
Not Stony Island.
St. Patty's Day still affecting my brain.
Yeah.
Something.
What the hell is it called? Anyway, we could do that. and of course, Lauren came in and says, can't we put 7 people on there? No, we can't, Lauren. It's a Mount Rushmore for a reason, only 4. That's what get down. A lot of people were controversial in our decision to put Oprah on there. Very upset about it.
I know. I thought Oprah was universally beloved. A Tom Hanks-like figure that everybody likes her. They might like her for different reasons or from different eras, but everybody likes her. Turns out, people hate Oprah.
Well, no. It could have been a loud minority that hate her.
A small vocal minority of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, which affects our elections. Including on the Mount Rushmore.
Which day's election day, as a matter of fact. All right.
So Oprah had a nighttime TV special last night. I'm guaranteed the ratings were through the roof. We
Yeah.
don't know this morning yet. It was on ABC, which delayed Case watching The Bachelor with his girlfriend.
That's right. I turned on ABC 7 at 7 o'clock, ready to go. The Women Tell All live penultimate episode of the season. And Oprah's selling me weight loss drugs, basically. I was very confused.
It was interesting. When you hear her open here, it is very emotional and heartfelt for what Oprah went through in her life.
Yeah.
And think about all the jokes that were made about her weight. And here's her talking about in the open of the show.
I took on the shame that the world gave to me. For 25 years, making fun of my weight was national sport. 1990, I saw myself on the cover of TV Guide's best and worst dressed list. And I remember thinking, oh, look, there I am on the cover. Mr. Blackwell, the tastemaker of the time, called me bumpy, lumpy, and downright dumpy.
Jeez.
I was ridiculed on every late night talk show for 25 years and tabloid covers for 25 years. So, in an effort to combat all the shame, I starved myself for nearly 5 months and then wheeled out that wagon of fat. And after losing 67 pounds on a liquid diet, the next day I started to gain it back.
That's what Oprah went through. So think about that next time you make a joke. You know what I mean? About that.
Well, Oprah's body is a very odd thing because she's talked about, she referenced it there, how she wheeled out all of the fat that she lost on a wagon, which she later said is her biggest regret because she feels like it gave people that are struggling with their weight a very negative image of what it's like to gain weight.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, she's pivoted back hard the other direction, it seems like.
Well, she's been in Weight Watchers
Weight Watchers.
A Weight Watchers spokesman for about 7 years.
Up until just recently.
Yeah.
She gave it up because she started taking Ozempic. And she talked about that on the show of how it helped her. And, she looks tremendous. She looks amazing
fantastic.
right now. And we've talked about that on the show. It was a diabetes drug. And then there was a big shortage of it because a lot of celebrities started taking it to lose weight quickly. And it turns out it works. I know people that are not celebrities have taken it. And I think it makes you feel really nauseous.
It
and you can't eat.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a problem. Like, I don't want, I'd rather be 15 pounds heavier. That's me, though.
But that's only 15. Most people are taking it to lose a lot more than 15 pounds.
Well, I'm obese by the government standards.
Which shows you how stupid their standards are.
Yeah.
Did
You are
Biden
not obese.
call you to tell you you're obese?
You were like, hey, let me tell you something, man. You big. You're big.
No,
That's my Biden impression.
I was
don't know.
dating a bodybuilder, and they deemed him obese. So those numbers are dumb.
Well, I'm 6'4", I'm 236 right now. I think I'm supposed to weigh like 207 or 204. That ain't happening.
No.
I was that for a long time when I was playing more ball when I was hitting the streets, but not anymore. But if I can get to 215, I'd be happy. I definitely need to lose about 15 pounds. I'm a little heavy right now. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a weight problem. Everybody struggles with this all the time. And this show was it's sad at times. They showed some young girls that had real problems, and Ozempic or some of these other drugs have saved their lives basically in that situation. But it did feel like an hour-long advertisement, like that whole, if it's too good to be true, like take this drug and it'll be good. And I just had a flashback to just weight loss drugs. Eventually, they're kind of like speed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really, I don't know the
This
inner
one
workings.
isn't, though. Yeah.
I'm not a biologist, and there's someone there that wants to call up and knows more of the chemical makeup of the drug and it's safe. You can check in at 312-591-8300 because I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I just get worried that when it seems too easy to take this thing, now her show is tons of people this morning now are trying to get it.
Well, that's just it. It's not easy to get. There's a shortage. I thought you didn't spend enough time last night talking about that. It's people with prescriptions can't even get it.
Yeah. Somebody checked in 847. Ozempic made me extremely depressed, so I pulled off of it. I got rid of it. And other people checking in too. And when, like Sean checking in, his mom's diabetic. So if you take that weight loss drug, you're using it up for someone that might really need it.
But that person who's overweight, though, obese, maybe is developing,
That's right.
They just need to have more of it. It should be for weight loss because it works so well.
Well,
in my opinion.
I think they're going to have to crank up production on it so everybody can get it that needs it. But, I also read something the other day in Weight Loss World that people have hit us up. Well, me and Case were doing our weight loss challenge. I lost a whopping 3.8 pounds in January, and Case lost, I think, 3.2. What'd you lose?
3.1.
And, people would say, like, you just got to get into fasting. Get in that intermittent fasting. It's going to work. Well, I read last night when I watched the show with Oprah with my wife that intermittent fasting, people that do it in a 20-year study, has showed that you're 50% more likely to die of a cardiovascular disease if you do the fasting thing than people that don't.
I'm glad you said that because I've been reconsidering it because, much like Oprah, or one of the many reasons we're alike, I've struggled with my body and my body image for a very long time, and I don't like it, and I'm kind of desperate to do something to change things. My big issue is that you can't outwork a bad diet, and I don't know how to eat well.
Well, abs are made in the kitchen, as they say.
I know, and I don't know how to do that. I go to a grocery store. I want to be a model of health. I wish people listen to this show.
Hit the buzzer. Damn it wasn't in front of me.
I want people to listen to this show and think, God, Case is fit.
Could you imagine if all of us had abs on this show?
Funny how it'd be.
Which is so important on the radio.
It'd be imagine that billboard.
If we were just jacked. If Kenzie came back and she had the biggest arms we've ever seen, she's like, I had a baby, I gained muscle. Like, it was the greatest thing ever. I don't know how to do it. And so I am very much, I'm like an at-risk teen in terms of being, taken away by bad influences because I see stuff like this. Again, I got sucked into this Oprah special in between the Bulls commercial breaks last night where it's like, oh, maybe I need this. Maybe I need to do something. Maybe I need intermittent fasting. There's a guy who works in this building who preaches intermittent fasting. He's a man who has a lot of influence over me.
Everybody has preached that to me when we were doing our weight loss challenge, and people like to really talk about it and brag about it to you. Like, do this, man. This is it. And now I just read that last night that you're going to die of a heart attack. Maybe not necessarily, but
I want to die of a heart attack anyways. I'd like it to not be because of fasting.
You want to die of a heart attack?
I don't want to, but I know how I am.
What?
So morbid.
Well, I'm a little stressed out.
Well, relax then. Have a hamburger.
Brian, I can't.
I know, that's the issue too. Well, listen, these people checking in, a lot of people, see, everybody has a different issue. 219 checked in. I was 388 at 6 foot tall, and I've been on Ozempic for over 6 months, and I've lost 60 pounds with it so far. I haven't had an issue with any kind of side effects.
That's good.
And I'm on my way. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. And everybody else will say, like, well, it's all about calories in, calories out. Well, it's not that easy.
If it was that easy, there'd be no one heavy.
Everybody
in
has
this
abs,
world.
including on this show.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know from our listeners at 312-591-8300, what you did to lose weight. Like, what was your, and it can be terrible. Like, for example, I remember one time I ballooned up to 260. And I don't know why I decided to do this. I chose this. It was wrong.
Clearly.
I ate, what were the diet Ruffles called? There was these Ruffles potato chips
Were
that
they
were
baked?
They were baked Ruffles.
Yeah.
I ate those for dinner
That's probably not a good idea.
for a month and a half.
It sounds delicious.
And I lost about 32 pounds eating baked Ruffles only for dinner.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Well, I dropped alcohol and lost weight. I recommend that as opposed to eating Ruffles for dinner.
Yeah, Cara did the right way. She gave up sugar 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and she gave up alcohol. I'm not doing that
But
either.
think about that, Brian. We gave up. I gave up soda, which I've massively cut back on ever since the weight loss challenge. You gave up all alcohol. We didn't lose any weight. How bad is our diet?
And I think I eat pretty decent.
A lot of pinto beans.
A lot of pinto beans, egg whites, protein shakes, a little healthy snacks. The problem is ice cream with me. I can't stop.
And I mean, look, I talk to you more than my own family. You talk to me more than your own family. I spend a lot of time around you. I didn't know how bad your ice cream problem was until January.
Well, as Kenzie pointed out, I don't just eat ice cream. I make a sundae every night.
Yes, yeah, that's
With
No
yeah.
idea.
With fudge, whipped cream,
And even
sprinkles.
in the middle of winter in Chicago,
Every night.
Wow.
Every night. Now, when I stopped it that last week to beat Case, I beat him. I just stopped it for a week, and I lost 308.8 pounds and beat him in the contest.
Good for you.
Because I have a dedication to the game.
Wolverine blood.
Yeah.
Built different.
But I'd love to hear from people to tell their success stories and what worked. Because I'm not trying to get everybody. It just seemed a little weird last night. Like there was almost like an hour long.
It was, but
paid
you know
ad.
what was cool about it? She was explaining how it affects your brain. And that's I wasn't, until the last 5-10 years, I never understood why someone would take a pill if they were depressed or anxious. But then it affects your brain, those
Yeah.
anti-anxiety meds. And I think that's what this GLP stuff does too.
I'd love to hear your hack that you did to lose some weight, and it stayed off. Like mine stayed off. Believe it or not, with that Ruffles diet, it stayed off. I got down to a good weight, and it was gone. And I went back to eating
I had a
regular
friend in high
stuff.
school that used to eat Rice Krispie treats for lunch. She's like, "There's no fat."
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Did it work?
No.
Oh, well, that one didn't work. No, don't do that one.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Reminder, coming up at 10 a.m., we will have the Lollapalooza announcement. 10 a.m., right after we get off the air, but we're going to stay on with Lauren and make that announcement of all the bands and the first people in. 4-day passes coming up at 10 a.m. You'll be first to get into Lollapalooza with Q101 and Brian and Kenzie. So we're talking about Oprah's special last night on her weight loss journey and what a struggle she's had and how she's been made fun of, and all facts, by the way. And then she got on Ozempic. She was on Weight Watchers, but got off of it. Got on the drugs. She didn't want a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So she got off, but even had the people from Weight Watchers on the show last night. And she looks amazing now. And they had stories of people that really are struggling and are on it. But I just also felt like for the whole hour, it felt like it was an advertisement.
It kinda did.
This morning, everybody that watched that is calling their doctors, how can I get on this?
Right.
And there's people with diabetes that need that drug too. But of course, some of these people need it too. They should just make more, I guess. They probably will. But also, I don't know if it's safe. We're talking about what you did to lose some weight. Will checked in at 773. I was 65 pounds overweight. I walked 9 miles every morning mowing greens on the golf course.
Oh, yeah,
I did
that's
that.
a lot.
I did that job when I was a kid. I weighed 180 back then.
You were a
doing it.
lawnmower?
I worked in the bag room. I caddied. I cleaned clubs. I changed batteries. I had to go climb a tree to get a club out of there. I had to climb in a lake. Or we'll go walk
You
into
had
the
to
lake.
climb in a lake?
Well, I had to climb in the lake because the a-hole guy threw a 7-iron in there and says, "Go get it, boy."
Ugh.
That's what he said to me.
Better have tipped you.
I got like $10.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You're a rich man at that point.
Yeah.
Well, kids today, when you caddy today, some of these kids make $100 for
Yeah.
18 holes. I was making like $12.
I just can't believe he didn't have a riding mower for his job on a golf
Oh,
course.
they do have some for golf course, but when they do the greens, you have to stand and do it because the riding mower will destroy the green.
Oh.
Come on, Cara.
A Dixie chopper mower is like a tank. That's basically war legal. You can't go on a golf course with that.
Aren't we in Caterpillar country here in Illinois, though?
I was raised in a Dixie chopper household.
Is that Indiana?
Yeah.
I got to look that up.
Hell yeah, brother.
So this guy checked in. Will, I was 65 pounds overweight and it walked on the golf course. He blew up recently 30 pounds more, and he got on the Costco diet, which is that we talked about that. I was going to do that, where it's all hot dogs, the Costco hot dog for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Can't be good.
Some guy did it, one of these TikTok guys, and he lost, I think 10 pounds doing
Yeah,
it.
but what are his arteries like?
I don't know.
I heard they were crystal clean. I heard they were awesome, actually. He had great arteries.
Brittany in Chicago said she lost 15 pounds when they got a puppy because you're always taking them for walks. They didn't, that's a good idea. It's true. I don't go for walks now that I have a cat. That's why I got my cat a stroller. So I can push the stroller with the cat.
You're one of those?
Yeah, well, the cat won't walk otherwise. Try pulling a cat on a leash.
Oh, it's the worst. They're like, why? I'm here under the bed. What are you doing to me?
Cara, are you one of those people that had their cat in a stroller and their kid on a leash?
I did not have my kid on a leash.
Okay, all
and I always thought those cat with stroller people were ridiculous until
you became
I
one.
I wanted to go for walks.
You were sent to destroy the Sith, not join them.
So we're talking maybe how you lost some weight, because I did it by eating baked Ruffles for dinner for a month and a half. And you know what? I'm not recommending it. It worked. Like, I lost like 20 pounds doing that, and it stayed off at that time. I gained it back a little bit later. But not like, it wasn't because of that. But just, you shouldn't do that. Allison's checking in from Joliet. Allison, ahoy, what's up?
Ahoy.
Hey.
Yes. So I'm not on Ozempic. I am actually on Wegovy, which is the injectable for weight loss itself.
Okay.
So I've been on that for about 8 months, and I've lost 65 pounds, and I'm still continuing.
Nice.
But I'm
55, you said?
65.
65.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, you go, girl.
Thanks. I had just had a baby a year prior, so I was at my heaviest. So I'm not embarrassed to say I was about 300 pounds, and I've lost 65, and I'm still going.
That's amazing.
That is awesome. That's got to feel incredible to get out of bed and step on the floor, and you're like, I pick up Harper, and she weighs 27 pounds now. So people say I don't work out, but I carry her up steps. That's like carrying a medicine ball around. 27 pounds, 65 pounds gone, man. Do you spring out of bed like one of the Avengers?
I definitely have more energy, but running after a 2-year-old now is definitely helping.
Yeah, they don't sit. They get bored and they keep
No,
walking.
they don't.
So does that medicine get rid of the food noise like Oprah was saying last night?
Absolutely. I don't feel like I have to eat my entire meal. It tells me when I'm full. Now, I've also changed my diet 100% because
Nice.
I actually work in a pharmacy, so I'm very aware on what to and not to do with the medication itself. But I will look at it and I'm like, I'm not going to eat my entire meal. I'm full. But I also drink a ton of water, and I cut out a lot of the junk that I used to eat.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I was raised, we don't waste food in this house, so
Right.
I finish my plate and everybody else's plate.
Megan, I'll take that. Harper, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you done? You're not. There's a time limit here on dinner. I'm taking your food. Well, that's amazing, Allison. Congratulations, Allison, checking in from Joliet. Thank you. Nick's checking in from Arlington Heights. What's up, ahoy?
Ahoy.
Sorry for losing the Bears Stadium up there. Sorry about that.
I don't think you're responsible
I'm
for
still
it,
crossing
Brian.
my fingers for that stadium.
Yeah, we could go run in that park for a while because there's gonna be nothing there.
And I actually live like a block from that park, too, so I have to look at nothing until the
What's your story, man?
I lost 30 pounds over 3 months. I was 220, and I got all the way down to 190.
See, that's what I need to do. You're in my world there.
What'd you do?
I actually hired a nutritionist and a personal trainer.
Oh, boy. That sounds
And
expensive.
everything was planned out to a T, like what I had to eat and what I could not eat.
Nice.
Okay, so I need to do that, but is it expensive?
No, my guy only costs like $75 a month. I
Ooh.
actually found him at my gym. He's a professional bodybuilder. And then I was eating 5 times a day, and I had to work out at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
That raises an interesting question.
What is expensive?
Do you trust a cheap nutritionist?
Well,
You'd love to get a
it
deal, but
yeah.
I don't know if I trust anybody under $100 either.
Kate, it worked. So I don't know what to tell you.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.